Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm a Tai Chi instructor. I'm born in England and I'm half Chinese, Malaysian, and then I'm half English and Scottish. And I've been in martial arts for most of my adult life, and it's what I love to do, it's what I enjoy. So, yeah.
Yeah, okay, this first part's good.
Tai Chi is definitely about half of my life, and it encompasses the whole of my lifestyle, really. My goal as a Tai Chi instructor is to be the best teacher I can be in helping people learn Tai Chi. There's a lot of preconceptions about what Tai Chi is and what it actually is, and for me, I take it as an internal martial art which can be practiced for health benefits, and then it's also effective as a combat martial art. So although it's practiced very slowly, when it's practiced quickly, that's when the martial side comes into it, and the movements become smaller and more intricate rather than expansive and open and more for the health side of things. So my goal is to really help people from all walks of life, it's open to everyone, from like top athletes who stand to benefit from the deep relaxation through the coordination, the control, the flow, the breathing, to people that are coming out of, say, surgery from hospital, from stroke. One of my new students today, she's had a left side stroke, and she's come to me asking for help to rehabilitate her side of her body. So it really is adaptable to everyone, and not just for the old, it's for the young as well, and particularly to practice it as it's intended to be. The stance work then lowers and it becomes much more physically demanding the deeper you get into it. Not just older people, which Tai Chi is generally associated with, but for those that want to improve for peak performance in terms of breathing and clarity of mind. So Tai Chi students come to me for a whole range of reasons. Everybody's seeking something, and they have a preconception of what Tai Chi can bring them. Perhaps it's spiritual inner peace, perhaps it's increasing their mobility, their range of movement. It can be, I have a lot of MMA students who want to increase their flexibility, their coordination. So it really depends. And Tai Chi is such a complete martial system, it can accommodate for everything, in my opinion. A lot of people practice Tai Chi and they come stressed, anxious, tired, they're pressured from their day-to-day life. They can be doing things very externally, challenging, and they know that they need some sort of balance, but most people don't know really how to achieve that. So when they come into my Tai Chi class, it's very open, and I generally take time to ask individuals, what do you think Tai Chi is, what do you want? So that gives me an idea of, I can give them what they want, really. Okay, so half of my training, I would say, is on the internal side, which is the Tai Chi, the soft, the slow side of things. Then I'd say the other half of that is the external, so calisthenics basically, which is use of my own body weight to increase my external strength. So I train I train intensively, and my aim then is to kind of build myself together as a unit, so mentally, physically, spiritually, I'm stronger, I'm whole. And the Tai Chi keeps me soft, so I nurture that. I'm a woman, I like to be feminine, but the other side of me is this kick-ass, don't mess about, strong training that I do. So yeah, it is a lifestyle, and I use them to balance each other. So maybe if I feel I've overtrained in one area, like I'm doing too much Tai Chi even, and I start to feel sluggish and slow, and I need to come out and I need to do something quick, so I might go for a run. I'll just feel like running, and I'll go for a park and I'll just start sprinting, and I just love pushing myself and challenging myself to the point where my muscles and my body just gives out and it cannot take any more. So I love that feeling, and I'm constantly aching since doing calisthenics, just all sorts of muscular aches from really working, and but as a girl I don't put on muscle, so although I can lift heavy weights, and I do a lot of pull-ups with my own body weight, so I'm 63 kg, so I'm quite happy just to lift my own body weight, and do push-ups and all sorts of crazy training, which is kind of gymnastics as well, based. So take different elements of strength training and combine it. So a lot of my training, I combine different things that I want. I think, oh, that will benefit me, that will help, and that's how I incorporate it. With my diet, I eat as healthy as possible. Ooh, no thanks.
No, come down.
I love eating healthy foods. It makes me feel good. I feel it's all about a lot of vegetables, not too much fruit, but I do have a sweet tooth, so that I do like eating fruits as well. But generally I eat things that slow burning carbs, so porridge, whole wheat, whole grains, and sweet potatoes, love it, and butternut squash, those sort of things. Lean meats, so any meats I just chop off the fat and just try to keep it as clean as possible. Lots of beans and things like that, and yeah, lots of water as well. And I grew up in England,
yeah.
And I grew up, my mom and my stepdad was white, and I didn't know that I was half adopted by my stepdad. So I grew up in a very white environment, white neighbourhoods, and my school was all white kids. And I had no idea that I looked Chinese. I didn't know what a Chinese person really was. I didn't associate with them. I didn't see that in myself. So when I was 12 and my mother told me, actually, your father's Malaysian Chinese, it was like, what? And it kind of made sense, because the kids had been calling me like all sorts of racial names like chink and go back to your country and just horrible things, and I couldn't understand why they were calling that to me, because to me I was white, I was Chinese, I was English. So that kind of spurred on my interest. Well, what does it mean to be Chinese? You know, who is actually my dad? You know, if I'm half Chinese, how am I supposed to feel about that? I hated the idea of being called Chinese, and it was a derogatory term. It was something, you know, to be embarrassed or, you know, ashamed of, like, you know, Chinese, because at the time in the 90s when I was growing up, it was associated with, you know, everything was made in China, and that was the only thing people really knew about China, was it just made lots of cheap crap and it was always in England. So that's the only association people had. And I thought, well, you know, I don't like that being attached to me at all. So it wasn't until I was 16, I left home and I went to live in Malaysia, and I ended up staying there for about 3 years. I did my A-levels out there, and I kind of even found out what it's like to be academically pressured by your Asian parents, which was completely unknown to me, because my mother had given me freedom to do whatever you like, and, you know, and then my father was like, right, you must study, and for whatever reason he wanted me to do law and economics, and I was like, it was completely beyond me. I studied it, and that was the culture, and I made Chinese friends, and they're actually come to be the best, closest friends I've really made. So now things are starting to change, and the world's perception on China is changing greatly, and going to China myself, it was really opened my eyes to what a massive force, and, you know, how vast and beautiful the culture is. And I'm actually very proud. I'm very proud now to call myself and own that in myself. That's part of me, and nobody can take that, and it's mine.
Is that
They complement each other. So the Tai Chi helps the bodybuilding helps the Tai Chi. It does create that balance, in essence. So I can be soft in the Tai Chi and I can be hard in the bodybuilding. And together I'm...
你翻嚟頭先我話得，你冇咁逼自己。
有冇太大？
嚇？
有冇太大？
唔知。你可唔可以拉高啲啊？哇！冇計，有嘅。Okay.
12.
Okay. I'll talk.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Take 12. Take 12. So yeah, talk about.
Okay. I could feel confident walking around by myself in the dark in Luton, and I don't have to worry. I can feel quite relaxed, and I feel I'm very aware of what's going on around me. For me, it is about getting stronger in all aspects, and mentally and physically. I know what it feels to be weak. I know what it feels to be helpless, to feel out of control. So for me, I develop myself so I have control, so I have strength when I need it. Obviously, I don't go around all day maximal exertion of strength and in control, but when I need it, I can call upon it. And that's a good feeling, and that gives me security, that makes me feel safe. And I like to think that that can put other people around me at ease, and that they feel safe as well. Not because I can go around and beat the crap out of everybody, but because it's an attitude, it's a lifestyle, it's the confidence that comes with it. And I think people pick up on that, and they like that. Obviously, people like confident people, and you exude that strength. And it's not always about how much weight you can bicep curl or deadlift. It's true strength is always inside, and it's a strength of character. It comes from the heart, and you know, with time, that can only get stronger. The body has its limitations, the mind has none.